Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed. What am I wearing? I am wearing an old Gucci skirt that I bought at an outlet. And I think this is versus the junior line of Versace. And I just love this very hot yellow, chartreuse yellow. Why not? To match up with what? None other than Hot Topics. So let us get going right away. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out here in these streets finding out that our darling Kenya Mall Spa faces eviction over 6 months of unpaid rent. What? Kenya, you have issues, mama. I think that you should leave everything else and focus on this right away. Yes. They actually have everything out here. And it seems as if the landlord, yes, Northland Chamberlain LLC, the Deco Art, that's the plaintiff, versus Moore's Version Media, and they want their coin. And let me just find out exactly how much are they looking for out here in these streets. But that's what it's looking like. I'm quite shocked and surprised. Yeah. But you know, these things happen. And I think a lot is shown for, a lot is put out there just for cameras. That's why these reality shows, you've got to be careful. It says here, darlings, Real Housewives alone, Kenya Moore's hair spa eviction. Landlord alleges 6 months of unpaid rent. According to the court filing, the landlord alleges Moore's Vision Media Inc. failed to pay rent for several months, specifically from December 2024 through April of 2025, totaling the amount of $21,897.40. This averages about $4,379.48 per month. The landlord, through their attorney, Brian S. Goldberg, states the following. The tenant is behind on rent. The lease term has expired. The tenant has refused to leave despite demand. A warrant may be issued for removal of the tenant and any other occupants. The landlord is also requesting additional costs and fees related to operating expenses, storage charges, and legal fees. Kenya, count your losses and move. Don't even stay there for another month because you're going to be owing another 4,000 plus. It doesn't matter whether you were not satisfied with them, you gave them money at this, that, and the third, because you have to understand that Kenya will have her own version, of which we have to listen to, but she has not given us yet. Maybe she'll come onto YouTube because she has a channel here and let us know. It's not a good look. Not a good look. You should be in business because right now it's not a very wonderful time for you. You have to now deal with the fact that you are not on Real Housewives of Atlanta. They haven't called you back. And then the business of which you should be minding, you ain't got it. And you don't have the numbers of Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has been let go by ESPN. But he has a successful channel out here in these streets. And he's still going to be busy. You, on the other hand, I don't know. Yeah, we're going to move on from there. Yep, Purdue. And we are going to move on to our fabulous president, Donald Trump. Donald Trump demands Beyonce be prosecuted for Kamala Harris's endorsement in 2024 election. Very much a mouthful. Very much what? A mouthful. Let me just come out here in these streets and see what I'm looking at. I don't understand. So let me just read. Trump wants Beyonce prosecuted. He claims that she was paid $11 million to endorse Kamala Harris. People are saying he's doing everything to avoid releasing the Epstein files that the DOJ confirmed he was on. That could be true. And I wonder why. Because he's out here on Black Twitter trying to get some kind of support. A whole mess. It doesn't even make sense. What are you talking about? That's just the way that I look at it. What are you talking about? but he's out here. At the first time when I read it, I thought it was joke. I thought it was really fake news. Please correct me in the comments if it is fake news. But I read it again, and I read it on other pages, and I was like, but what are we talking about? Especially when Beyonce has just finished her tour, mind you, and Cowboy Carter breaks the record for the highest grossing country tour in Billboard's box score history. It grossed 407.6 million from 1.6 million in tickets from 32 shows. Beyonce becomes the first woman and first American artist in history to gross 700 million in 2 separate tours. Go right ahead, mama. Do your thing. I salute Beyonce on what she has achieved, and even more so in being Blue's mother. I look at Blue with such admiration. She's a young girl, and she stuck to that tour. She was dedicated, and she turned out to be really one of the highlights of Beyonce's tour. What a wonderful mother you are, Beyonce, and what a wonderful daughter you are, Blue. It brings such joy, it really does, when your child is like you, in ambition, in focus, in discipline, in determination. What joy for Beyonce. I've mentioned it in another episode, but I put up a young picture of me. I must have been 8, 10. I don't know exactly. But at that time, I knew what I wanted to become. I absolutely knew. Sure as I'm talking to you, I knew. I didn't say it to anybody because it was so far-fetched, and it was only me in my family that had this. And I didn't know how to navigate myself. Didn't know. But I knew what I wanted. And I think that it's such great joy when your parent knows you like that. And you as a child, you know what you want. It's such joy because you can guide, you can navigate, and you have a bond outside of child and parent for the passion of what you do, in a sense. And Beyonce and Blue have that. So for Trumpaloops to come out here talking about, I want to sue you for this, that, and the other, I'm aghast. I'm like, say what? Keeping on the Trump news, Trumpaloops has also gone ahead and said, where am I? Let me stop for 1 minute. Diddy seeks acquittal or a new trial over convictions for the, do relation charges. Yeah? Okay, let's move on from there. Trump, our president, is also seriously considering pardoning Diddy. So, I don't know whether this is a distraction from the Epstein files, or it's something that he's looking at to say, well, he kind of, has done his time. Let me see what I can do for Diddy out here in the streets. I don't know. But that's what it's looking like. So you better get prepared. Because Diddy also says that he's asking for release on 50 million bond ahead of sentencing in October. What does that tell me? That tells me that Diddy Pooh is getting a little bit nervous. That tells me that maybe he might get 5 years and up. And he's saying to himself, absolutely not. Let me look for another way out. That's what it's telling me. It's giving me nervous vibes that he just might stay a little longer than he expected behind bars. Remember, I said that he might get 1 year or 2, or he just might get off with time served. I said that, and I still stick to it. That just might not be the case, because I'm not always right. I'm not always right. So we have our president, the president of the United States, Donald Trump, out here in these streets trying to get Beyonce prosecuted, and is looking at a possibility of freeing Diddy. Yeah. And then last but not least, we have Jennifer Lopez, who is on tour, world tour. She's enjoying herself. She's also just turned 56 and she's looking absolutely fabulous. Absolutely indeed. She's also throwing a couple of jabs here, there, you know, talking about she likes it hard in bed, you know, maybe trying to tell Ben Affleck one or two things we don't know. But I will say this. Jennifer Lopez works hard. Jennifer, you work hard. You're hustling out here in these streets. A lot of people will say she's not the best actress, not the best dancer, not the best singer. All that's up for debate. But she works hard. And she's not giving up. And at the end of the day, somebody said that she was wearing the same outfit as Beyonce. Beyonce is also coming up multiple times in this episode. I don't think so. They are dancers. You are moving on stage. You also want to protect yourself, you know, and you want to look good. And if you have a great body, yes, absolutely show it off. I think that there are only so many outfits that you can have before they begin to look alike. Everybody wears these kind of outfits. I've seen them many a time, so I don't see anything, you know, wrong with it. Somebody also mentioned, I think it was Kelly Megan, that her outfits and her dancing on stage is becoming a little bit porny. Again, I don't think so. I think that she's a performer, she's a dancer, she's dancing, because Mariah Carey does not move at all. I want to give her her flowers. I want to give her her flowers. It's not easy out there, and not everybody has that kind of stamina. We just had a meet and greet of which I was preparing for 3 months, and it wiped me out, and that was just performing for a day, all day for 7 hours, wiped me out. A lot of people say, Fumi, you've lost weight. That also contributed to my weight loss. The only person that knows it, you're for real, is Ula. Because you're constantly running around and you're doing so many things. You lose weight and you have to keep up with your eating and your food, you know. And so I'm going to give Jennifer her flowers. You're doing a great job, Mama. You're doing a great job. You miss your children, you miss your bed, but you're committed. And for that, I salute you. Well, that's it, my darlings, for the hot topics. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I will see you I'll see you sooner than later. All of my love.
The value of the information that we were given. So it's not overwhelming. It was very clearly laid out. It was accessible, even for someone that's not familiar with public relations.
Now I'm leaving, feeling more PR ready. What I thought I knew, I now know more. What I came to do, I've done so much more.
If you are serious about really growing your business or growing your brand, then like this is really this is a must.
And I love the fact that I came away from it feeling and knowing that I now have a clear pathway for the things I want to do next for my business.
I'm literally in awe.
I feel like I can pitch. There's so many platforms that I've wanted to go on, so many podcasts or just things that I thought I can only dream about. But in this retreat and just through the classes and the sessions, I really learned how to actually reach out to those platforms, to those huge platforms.
Know that when it comes to PR, Nina gonna put you together, okay? During our sessions, how she walked us through the playbook and she had us complete tasks. It gave us a sense of clarity.
Nina, you did that. You brought a group of amazing women together and you helped us bond, to see our worthiness. And yeah, it was everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Yes, it's really been a unforgettable experience.
This is by far the most impactful few days I've had in a very long time.
Nina, you have no idea how profoundly your journey has impacted my journey.
Don't even think about not signing up.